Chaperones were the reason why I was a virgin until I was 19 years old.
Oh yeah, you couldn't get rid of them.
No, it's impossible. But what's ironic is now if you take a look at your old girlfriend, she's turned into her mom. So right now she looks exactly like a chaperone. The same girl that you dated, when she was 18 and you were 18, going to high school together, in Miami. Because I've been in elevators, and they don't know that I speak Spanish. They'll take a look at me, guy, hippie with long hair, and they start talking about me. They're going to say, mira ese, mira pelú. And then I get off the elevator and say, well, buenas noches, señoras,
And they fucking freeze.
Yeah.
They freeze.
They have no idea,
Is that your favorite thing to do? If I knew another language, I would just go around trying to spy on people.
But I got a kick out of that, because to me, leaving Miami was my second exile. First I left Cuba, then I went to Miami, and that was, I got to get out of here. Because it
Is
was.
that how you felt in Miami?
Oh, I still do. I can only take Miami. I go there to see my mom for like 3 or 4 days, and then I got to get out.
What was your total
But I'm talking
living
about
time there?
We arrived in 61. We left in 63 to New Jersey, West New York, your hood. Then we left in 66. We went back to Miami again, and I was there for like 10 more years until disco came in.
What didn't you like about it at that time?
What I didn't like about it, well, first of all, back in when I left in the 70s, was still that mentality that you're Cuban, you're not supposed to be doing certain things.
Right. I lived
culturally.
70s was tough. The early
Yeah.
70s to be a Cuban.
Yeah.
First generation.
First
as they
generation.
call them,
Yeah.
was very tough. It was their rules were fucking.
They had rules.
They had rules.
Yes.
A lot of rules.
That's a big problem. Don't tell me about rules. I don't want to know about fucking rules.
I had those rules, and they were even harder on me till I went home in the 5th grade. When I got out of the Catholic school, my mom came around and she goes, I don't want to bang heads with you. I'm done. So we're going to do it your way. And if it works, we'll do it your way. The minute it doesn't work, it goes back to my way. And that was communistic measures. That's communistic measures, for anybody who doesn't know. I mean, I tell stories that I got hit. Yeah, I got hit. But the number one punishment I was made to do was write lines. I will not call my mother a fuck. I'm not saying I ever did, but little things. I will not play ball in the house.
Yeah.
And I would have to sit there for hours, and the eyes had to be under the eyes perfectly. And the wills had to be perfectly.
Wow.
And I would sit there for 2-3 days. Like get home from school at 3, eat lunch, and go right to the notebook. And sit there till dinner, and after dinner for 2 hours. And then my mom would be waiting for an apology. And in my world, there was no fucking apology. I'd rather write these fucking lines than apologize. That's how I felt at that age. But then somebody would come over, and as Cubans call it, te tiran la toalla. Okay, that means they throw in the towel for you. So let's say I'm mad at Mercy, and Rudy comes over. I leave the room. Rudy sits with Mercy and says, hey, what's going on with you? Nothing, my dad. And you go, listen, I grew up with your dad. I know he is. Just tell him you're sorry. And you want to keep writing? And I go, no. And they go, okay, call your mother. Ma, come in here. And my mom would come in. And I'd have to look at her and say, I'm sorry for breaking the dolls. And she'd go, next time you do this, this is the penalty. My daughter lost her jacket at school. I give my daughter $40 a month to do the podcast, $10 a week. I give her 40. I make her sign paperwork. I put it through the whole fucking deal. You know me. I give it to her in an envelope. I make it through the whole deal. Her mother bought her a school jacket. She wanted a hooded sweatshirt. She lost it at the school. The mother charged her $30 yesterday. She was crying for an hour. Took it out of her piggy bank. That's it. That's how I was raised. You need to know the value of $1. So it was. I had rules growing up. You couldn't. And then, let me tell you where there was more rules. In North Bergen. There were unspoken rules. Couldn't get an earring. Couldn't get a tattoo. No long hair. It was very well known in North Bergen, like the basic rules of North Bergen. They were unwritten, but they were very basic. The kid died about 6 weeks ago from North Bergen. I'm friends with his wife today, and his wife came to my show in Rascals, and she goes, when I hugged her, I go, I'm sorry about whatever. And she goes, my husband always loved you. He said you were a real man because your sophomore year he broke up with a girl, and you went to him before you asked her out. And I did. My sophomore year, I went to this tough motherfucker, and I go, hey, you guys have been broken apart for a month. There's a word on the street that her and I could click. Are you okay with this? And I could see he turned pale. And he goes, I still love her. And I go, listen, you're apart for a month. And he goes, well, you do what you got to do. And I put my hand out. I go, I'm just here to tell you, I'm going to take her out that date. I don't want no problem. I put my hand down. That's what men did. That's how I was raised. Like, that was the code in that town. That town was very codish. You know, some kid hit me last night, you know. When we were kids, we were raised to do everything the best. Like, we went to Hashways. There was no fast food. You didn't eat at that place. Like, you didn't step foot in that place. You know, that's just the way it is. You lived off discipline, a certain discipline. And I carried that discipline out here. Like, I'm not a bagel head. You'll never hear me going to pizza. I don't care. I'm not here for the fucking pizza anyway. I'm here for a dream, or not here for a bagel. But when it comes to food, I'm very traditional, Cuban. You know, you got to have that shit somewhere. I don't want it. I'd rather not have second best. You know, it's like some guy said to me last night on Twitter, well, I want to take you to church at Popeyes. I wouldn't walk into fucking Popeyes. I wouldn't walk in there. I made a mistake one time. I was sick for 4 fucking days. I'll never do it again. I go, I'm a Chick-fil-A guy. He goes, Chick-fil-A is a better sandwich, but don't you want to taste the Popeyes just to compare it? I go, why would I fuck with the best? It's the best. It's the best. I'm going to go to Popeyes. Last time I went to Popeyes, I took the skin off the chicken. I could see 4 toes. The breast was a guy's foot. You could see it. Didn't take a genius. I wish I was lying to you. It was like a fucking foot that they had cut at the ankle. Not at the ankle, at the insole. And they deep fried it. That's what it looked like. I never went back in there. Never again. And then my daughter went in there one day with my wife. I told my wife, can't bring her in here, G.
We're going in like fucking Marines. You understand me?
Welcome to church, motherfucker.